Because you keep telling people, right? I want to start this thing, I want to start that, and they'll never take you seriously. For this project or not for, I haven't told a single person, not even my mom. Once, I started once the registration started coming in, I had a number, and that's when I showed her this is mine. Go ahead, take a look at it.
Yeah. Hi and welcome to a Clarion Cast and a Clarion Academy show. I am your host Ashwari Chandra, and today we have someone very special with us, Mr. Sandeep Tungarathi, who has actually had a long-standing career in IT, working as a DevOps developer, and is also the founder of NotFirst.com. So, hi Sandeep, how are you doing?
Yeah, sure. How are you? I'm doing good.
I'm good. I'm good. So, welcome to the show, Sandeep bhai.
Thank you.
So, how about Sandeep bhai? We start something about an introduction or something so that our audience can know more about you.
Sure. So I'm a founder of a company called Northford.com. We provide affordable education to our students. We have enrolled about 3,500 students in a single month. We offer two courses. One is Azure and DevOps. Plus, we offer one more course in automation testing.
Okay, okay. So, why? How about there's a lot of awareness that we need to bring about in the people. Like, what is DevOps? If we can, you can explain in simple language like what is DevOps.
Sure. So in companies, right, you have developers and you have infrastructure team and you have the testing people. So developers' job is to basically build a product, and testers' job is basically test the product. So the more bugs they find, the better the quality will be. So once the product is completed, you have to put it online. That means affordable use. I mean, a user has to use it, right? And only when a tester tests it, a user can use it. So the middle person, who are the operations guys, usually take in the product and put it in the market. But what happens is, being the person, the middleman, he gets pushed over a lot, saying developer says, hey, my product is good, push it to the product. But the QA person says, the product is not good, you should not push it to the product. So this role got created where there's a DevOps engineer, where they work with both the software guys and the QA guys to coordinate with them and push the product into the market. This is a very 10,000 feet level, explanation. Don't take it to it right directly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something like a kind of a mediator guide, right? Who actually coordinates between different elements of the project, and then he directs.
So
It's like,
yes,
yeah.
build, release. That's it.
Okay, okay,
Build it
okay.
and release.
And I know, like, I mean, nowadays we are hearing a lot of news about like the cloud is growing, the cloud development process is growing. So, how do you
Mhm.
think? I mean, is the future when it comes to DevOps and the cloud development process?
So they're here to stay. I mean, future. I mean, in the past, like 5 years
Hmm,
ago, we had some technologies called AWS, Azure, or GCP.
hmm,
Those were the niche skills. Now, what's happening is every person, even a developer or automation engineer,
hmm,
they are expected to have a cross-skill functionality, which is cloud. So going forward, cloud is just the requirement, and it will be mandatory very soon. So it's important for everyone and anyone who's trying to get into IT to learn cloud, at least the
hmm.
basics of it.
Hmm. So, like, I mean, we have this agile framework which is actually used for the project management process. So, when
Correct.
it comes to
Correct.
Azure, what is the use of Azure in this entire framework?
So we follow this agile framework everywhere right now. So Azure has something called Azure DevOps, where
Hmm,
you have some dashboards. You have the Kanban dashboard type of dashboards where you can neatly organize work and give it to your co-workers. So
hmm,
that's what you have it in Azure. You have the same in AWS and GCP too. But it's important to understand that a DevOps engineer follows this agile methodology. It's been converted. It's been passed down from ITIL process to now agile. Agile is the way that most of the companies are working in. And
hmm,
there was something called waterfall, which was old one, but agile is build fast, fail fast, correct faster. So that's
hmm,
what even the DevOps or the cloud engineer or everything, every
hmm.
person follows that right now.
Okay, okay, okay. So, like, I mean, for those of us who actually want to enter into this Agile or Azure, what do you want to tell them? I mean, how should we prepare ourselves? I mean, is there a language that we need to learn, or we should start with the Agile framework? So, what is the approach that we need to take on when it comes to working in these different technologies?
So if you want to come into cloud, right, you really don't need agile as of now. I mean, because agile is something that's the methodology, right? So what happens is you have to start from the infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, you need to know what is happening around inside of a server.
Hmm,
And
hmm,
then you have something called infrastructure, which is basically server side and all the server equipment. You need to have some understanding on networking. And
hmm,
then you have to get some understanding on OS, that is either Windows or Linux.
Hmm.
And then you have to start something called virtualization, which is like the building block for cloud, and
Hmm.
get into one of the cloud framework, either a cloud providers infrastructure part, which is AWS, Azure, or GCP. Right
Hmm.
now, AWS is leading the market with, I think, about 68% is the user share right now, and rest is 20 to 23% is Azure, and rest is of GCP, Alibaba, etc. But this is
Hmm.
the path if you want to enter into a cloud market without any basic skills. But if
Hmm.
you're a developer or a automation engineer and you want to get into cloud, I
Hmm.
suggest you perfect one or two languages, Python or YAML, or YAML is something, ML or JSON, whatever it is. Then
Hmm.
understand the basics of cloud and understand how cloud works on in terms of services.
Hmm.
So that way you can enter cloud, and also a developer can also become a DevOps engineer.
Hmm.
Automation engineer can also become a DevOps engineer because you have already mastered some language, programming languages. So it will be
Hmm.
easier for you to understand how the cloud works.
Okay, okay.
So that's
So,
about how we get into it.
okay, okay. So, Sandeep, I mean, you had a very long-standing career in IT. Like you had been working for like 8 to 9 years into this, and you have, growth. You made a lot of growth in this IT. So, what made you to, found nosfirst.com? What was the approach? Why did you started your own firm?
So yeah, I've been in industry for almost 16 plus years now. So
Hmm.
I'm a director of a software company. I'm still working there. I take care of delivery of infrastructure development and cloud.
Hmm.
So what happened was, early, I think 2019, 2019,
Hmm.
I believe.
Hmm.
So I just recently got a project and I was hiring people.
Hmm.
So I used to interview at least 8 people a day. That's 8 4 long hours, right?
Hmm.
And I see that people who are coming in, most of them who are coming in, put in fake resumes. Like,
Hmm.
you just go to cloud engineer resume, copy
Hmm.
that, paste it. Because in reality, we'll not be going through all the content of the resume, but we'll see the points, right?
Hmm.
So they put something that I don't know. For example, I've created a VM, whatever it is. That's a basic statement. So when I go talk to them and ask them, I get nothing.
Hmm.
So after all these things, right, I see people who are below average, and people who put fake degrees or fake experience and come in. I don't mind that as
Hmm.
long as they study. So what I thought was, hey, I mean, I've been into industry for so long. Why
Hmm.
can't I train people and get them into companies? And initially, not for we started when we started, or when the idea came into the picture, where we thought, we would not take a single rupee from anyone,
Hmm. Okay.
and
Okay.
we put it in, and we
Huh.
thought the companies are going to buy the people from us, right? Buy the
Hmm.
people, or give us a finder's fee or something like that.
Hmm.
Yes, we did that. I'll talk about that little later, but
Hmm.
that's how the idea the inception came into the picture. Then we thought about it. We thought about launching courses in different languages, like localized languages.
Hmm.
But we quickly realized that that is not feasible for a short startup company like us.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's when we started.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, this is a really great approach to starting something because you have actually identified a pain point. I mean, affordable education is still very far from us. When it comes to institutional educational, it is actually so costly that at the end of the day, you have to take a loan or something like that. I mean, the whatever
Oh
you're
yes.
teaching is actually very good. For the audience, I want to tell you, like, I am also into this teaching industry, and we have heard nosfors.com name a lot because it's going meteorically, and you can go out and check out the website for more details on that, but we'll come back to it further.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, Sandeep bhai, what do you actually say to our people who are actually preparing their resume? Because now we have talked about hiring process, and we know that people are actually trying to bring a larger than life picture. They haven't worked on something, but they are actually trying to bring into it. But as a recruiter, we all know that we know how to segregate the good from the bad ones.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so when it comes to our candidates who are actually trying to get a job, what would you like to tell them from your as a recruiter perspective?
So be real. You don't have to put something. That's rocket science. Whatever you've done is fine. One way to identify or get your profile identified is to obviously take the job description,
Hmm.
put some text around it, do some word magic, put it in. That's fine. But when you go for the interview, just research on those topics and try to answer them. If you're trying to get in the company, just do the steps. You are there 50%, and other 50% is your confidence.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's how
Absolutely.
you have to do it.
I mean, totally in agreement with you. I mean, this is a very simplistic approach that you can take towards getting a job. And you have to be honest. I mean, being authentic is the first part that anyone looks for. I mean, skills come
Correct.
next, but you have to be authentic. That's the very first part. So, about when it comes to like hiring for recruiters, I mean, people are actually, there are so many hiring companies that are outsourcing the jobs. They are actually hiring people and then they are, relocating them to different projects, different companies. So when it comes to the recruiters, I mean, like there is a lot of misconception with entrepreneurs. I mean, when they go for hiring, they ask very silly questions like, "Are you going to work hard? Are you going to relocate?" Of course, he's going to answer yes. He's not going to say no. So when it comes to the asking real questions, what are the exact parameters that you look for in candidates when it comes to from the recruiter point of view?
So see, I look at the attitude first, because for me, skill comes second. Because I can teach you how to eat a banana. That's not
Hmm.
an issue. But I cannot teach you how to eat it properly. That comes
Yeah,
naturally, right?
even have
So
a desire for a banana, right? You have to have a desire for banana, right? I mean,
correct.
someone who is so rich is not going to work for you, and he's going to have so many troubles, and he is going to create so many of things. So, of course, attitude comes first, and then skills.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
attitude skills, because it's IT, right? No
Hmm.
one's perfect, to be honest. Everyone's
Hmm.
seen some YouTube tutorial taught by our Indian friend from somewhere. But at the end of the day, I look at your attitude
Hmm.
and how well I can you're flexible to take on the roles that I get in the future. Because I'll not be working in the same project every time. My roles will be my requirement will be different. So
Hmm.
it's your
Hmm.
hard work and your flexibility and your availability and your attitude. That's it.
Hmm.
If you
Hmm.
got all of three, trust me, even if you don't know anything, you'll survive in any company.
Hmm. 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 So, by right now we are having so many of different platforms that are actually into tech education. Like we have Scalar, we have Udemy, we have Skillshares, and different. So when it comes to Nosfers, what are you? How are you taking the approach to teach students? I mean, are you using recorded lectures? Do you have live sessions?
Mhm.
Is the approach that you're taking?
So we have over 200 plus recorded sessions now.
Hmm.
Every class that we take is a live session.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we get somewhere around 300-ish per class, and
Hmm.
that's how have gone. One bad thing in Indian,
Hmm.
tech ed sector is you want a job, right? So that means you are in need of money. It's one thing, or you not need of a position. So people go to Scalar and all. They charge you about 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh
Hmm.
straight
Hmm.
away.
Insane
And
amount of money, right? I mean, what's the point? I could go and take an MBA if I have to spend 20 lakhs, right? Why will I go for a skiller? I mean, you have to actually focus on affordability now if you're going to actually teach someone, people to empower them. I
yeah,
mean, yeah, like these loans are actually so extortion. It's kind of, like creating the laborer for the rich. I mean, you're going to take a loan, then they're going to
and
pay the
and they
loan.
tell you, what? Don't worry about the money. You can pay it in easy installments. I can tell
Yeah.
you what, easy installments,
Huh.
and my same course that's costing about 3,000.
Hmm.
That also has easy installments. To be honest, that's at the checkout page. They're doing nothing.
Huh,
And
huh,
trust
correct.
me, I've worked with other big tech companies as an
Huh.
instructor, so I know what is going on there.
But I mean,
And one,
we
mhm.
also we have heard that many of the other instructors are actually coming to you and asking you to raise up your price, not to offer them at such a cheap price.
Yes,
So
yes,
I mean, you
yes.
must be getting a lot of calls like that.
So it's like this. We want to be successful. We want
Hmm.
money, but it's not
Hmm.
at the cost of the students.
Hmm.
Price, right? So if you
Hmm.
get placed somewhere,
Hmm.
I'm sure you're going to 10, 15 people to join Oxford. That's what we want. I don't want to be
Hmm.
the person saying, hey, you've been with us for 9 months, you pay us 1 lakh.
Hmm.
You will never go tell anyone saying that, hey, I paid 1.5 lakh for this, I got a job. Will a person go tell that? Will you?
No.
you see, so it's a
Huh.
different story altogether. And one thing is, everyone else in the market right now, they are looking at the batch sizes one, and they're
Hmm.
looking at the duration.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
trust me, we have the one batch that we have started. We haven't completed till now. From September, it's still running till in February. And tell
Hmm.
me one more. That's about you see the content, right? And
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
other scalar and all, they have programs for 9 months. Let's say some other one. What is that? You have some other.
Udemy and Skillshare and different kinds of platforms that offer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a door
Huh.
like OTTs. I mean,
Huh.
not
Huh.
yeah, with the price together. And there
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
one more, Edureka for one being, they
Huh.
take about 20, 30. I'm not even sure what the price is.
Hmm.
And they have a fixed batch, fixed duration, right?
Hmm.
And they teach you the duration in 30 days, no matter what happens. And
Hmm.
what we do, we want to teach the entire thing. Now it's almost 5, 6 months, and one
Hmm.
course is going for 6 months, and you can imagine every day 1.5 hour class. That's
Hmm.
what we are
Hmm.
doing.
Hmm.
And you know what? We didn't charge the first 1,500 to 2,000 people. Other
Hmm.
people paid, only 1,500. That's because they wanted to pay. That's for the entire subscription. That means
Hmm.
they get automation and they get DevOps, and everyone who paid for the membership, right? They get all future courses free.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Let's cut this part off where 200 and like 2000 people actually got it for free, because otherwise other people are going to ask you for the refunds. So let's not
No,
go
no,
into that.
I'll tell you, we learned a lesson there. In fact,
Huh,
we
huh.
learned a lesson there. I'll tell you.
Huh. My experience with free courses is like, when you give someone free something, they are not going to value that thing. That's the main issue. Like, for like, if you want to, what my perspective is that if you want to learn something, invest into it. Once you invest into it, you're going to spend your time, because we are Indians. We are not going to let it
Yeah,
waste away. So yeah, I mean, you have to
that
charge, because you
happened.
have to pay your teachers, you have to pay your institutions, your infrastructure that you're providing. It all costs a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, 6 months for a single course is a complete hand holding process. Like,
Yes,
even
that's
for
what we're
my
doing.
entrepreneurship program, we have 4 months program. Like, in 4 months,
Mhm.
we'll try to teach you everything about entrepreneurship. But if for a DevOps you're giving 6 months for a single course, that is something commendable. I mean, and
There's a star on top of it because we don't know when it's gonna end. I'm telling you that.
yeah, I mean, as long as people are comfortable, like whenever they can come back and ask you questions, so you're open to them to any time at the moment, right?
So
So
yeah,
it's like
so
a
we have this
lifelong.
WhatsApp community, yes, a community where they ask. We have, in fact,
Hmm,
4 or 5 communities where we have filled all
hmm,
of them.
hmm,
So it was a learning process for me, and it was so rushed when we started
hmm,
because it was almost like a joke. Like I have two other team members, right?
hmm,
So I was like, let's start, and they
hmm,
started promoting on Facebook. And
hmm,
the thing was, I didn't have the website ready at that time, so
hmm,
I had to put up the website in 30 minutes. That's it.
hmm,
I was typing. I see the registrations coming in
hmm,
without the
hmm,
website on. The registrations were
hmm,
coming. The development, the design was not done. I was
hmm,
scrambling. I was typing about the course. It all went crazy. It
hmm.
was so
Uh,
fast.
that's simple. I mean, if you have good content, people are going to come to you with or without a
Correct,
website. I
correct.
mean, like the people who are so much adamant on bringing out good websites, investing a lot on applications, and then going on the content, they actually end up spending so much money on the infrastructure that they actually end up neglecting the course, which is actually the main point of everything.
If I
So
didn't start then, I'd be that person.
yeah, so
Because
there
I
is a.
always look for perfection.
Yeah,
And
that is the
good.
same thing. Yeah, I mean, like, don't listen to this guy. I mean, he's going for perfection, but you go for progress, okay? Because he actually
That
ended up
that's
going for
that's
the
the one.
progress. And there's a very good entrepreneurial lesson to learn here, that start small, go for the content, bring your best product out, and then go for the different infrastructure and all those things, because they will actually come up eventually. But the main point, the main product or service has to be the best. Otherwise, it will all
Yeah,
end up
because
in
you keep
disaster.
telling people, right? I want to start this thing, I want to start that, and they'll never take you
Hmm.
seriously. For this
Hmm.
project
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
not for,
Hmm.
I haven't told a single person, not even my mom. Once,
Hmm.
I started once the registration started coming in, I
Hmm.
had a number, and that's when I showed her this is mine. Go ahead, take a look at it.
Yeah, this is so good to listen. I mean, because we have so many of the instructors who haven't entered a single day in a single field. I mean, what they do is like they are more into textbookish education. But it is so good to listen to you guys. I mean, you are actually masters in your field, and then you're coming out with your course. You have so much of work to do as a part of your job, but still you're taking out that time to bring up this institution where people can actually learn at such an affordable cost, because like there is a lot of I would say that I have worked in the IT industry and I have recruited a lot of people, but there is actually a lot of gap when it comes to skill development. I mean, we lack,
Oh
as
yeah,
Indians, we lack a lot of skills, right? I mean, it's not
yeah.
our fault, it's our education system fault, which is so much of textbookish oriented and project based oriented that we end up writing notes, making practicals, doing things, but actually we are not doing all the practical things, right? So this
Oh,
is
that is
something.
true. There
Huh.
has to be a push from the education institutes also. I mean, writing something. never know. I mean, I was not really a good student at school until sixth or seventh or eighth standard.
Hmm,
I never used to read. I used to just listen to what my mom or teacher used to say. I used to come back, write that in the exam. I'm that kind of person. I used to hate to read. In fact, one time.
hmm,
So yeah, I mean, depends. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if you want to get into any kind of industry, the I mean, it depends on how interested you are and how bad you want it.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
You know, if you want
Yeah.
really bad, you have to find some ways to get it by hook or crook. I mean, I don't mind you doing beg, borrow, steal, but again, be true to yourself at the end of the day and get into that. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And also, like, actually, we should be actually more into games and plays and everything while we are till class fifth, right? We don't need to go into such hard calculus and timetable and everything. Like,
Correct.
yeah, I mean, like, it is all those kind of education. Like, we now have junior, which Byju's acquired, something like Whitehead
By
Junior, Whitehead
yeah.
Junior. Yeah.
Come
So
on, Byju's is a big joke, right? To be honest.
yeah, I mean, like a 10th class guy is making an application and everyone is so fascinated by and wow, so good what he's doing. But actually, he has lost his childhood and he's not going to get it at any cost. And that is not
Teach
coming
him
back.
how to use ChatGPT if he wants. If the parents wants that,
Ha!
you get all the answers.
Yeah. So, like, with the chat GPT, I want to come back to the automation question. Like, we have so much
Mm-hmm.
of automation going on in every field. Like, when it comes to graphic designing, we have
Mm-hmm.
different softwares. When it comes to chat GPT, we have different automation software. And automation is going to, like, scale up in a lot in coming days. So, what
Correct.
is your take on automation and the jobs that are going to be displaced as cost of automation?
You need someone to automate anything, right? So
Yeah.
there's the job
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah. Even the
yeah,
chat
you need
GPT is
someone.
making even the chat GPT is making use of all the humanly information that we actually have stored or created. It's not creating anything by itself. It's just scraping the
Correct.
internet and then bringing out the information. So
It's
somewhere,
basically right. All the transcripts of, I mean, ChatGPT is not here,
hmm,
but it has been trained on a lot of data, right? That's probably yours and mine video will be in ChatGPT somewhere because it has the transcripts. It knows what we're speaking about. It might give the answer to a I mean, some person who asks a question about entrepreneurship or not for
hmm,
some time later.
hmm, hmm,
God
hmm.
forbid, I don't know whether the answer is right or not. But again, ChatGPT tries to help you. I mean, use it as a caution. That's it,
Ha,
as
ha.
a tool. I mean, the helping hand. That's it.
Helping hand. But don't you think like there is a violation of intellectual property right when it comes to the way that ChatGPT is using because it's scraping the entire internet with the information that someone has created and then it's saying that take this information and use it as per you want. So isn't that it's
Yeah,
an intellectual right violation somewhere? And I'm sure that we are going to see a lot of civil suits against this ChatGPT in coming days. What do you think?
probably. But then again, internet is written in ink, right? I mean, if you put something on top of a website, you have. Did you ever read the terms and conditions entirely? No, right?
No one.
So
I'm sure no one have ever read that what ChatGPT is
yes.
saying. Uh,
So
uh,
yes, there might be, and we never know. We'll have to wait and see. Next 2 years, I think it's going
uh.
to be really good fun around this area.
But suddenly, like when we heard about ChatGPT, suddenly there's a new era of competition where everyone from Google with Bard to Lexi, the first AI built Indian chatbot, to like Baidu from China is developing their own chatbot, and then there's Alibaba who is actually developing their own. So there's an entire new generational war that is going to happen with this chatbot, with this in this entire scenario. So when it comes to like, I mean, of course. There is a lot where we can, say when it comes to this using this. So what is your take
Mhm.
on this? I mean, is it good for us or is it bad for us? I mean, entire because it's going to impact the education system. It's going to impact everything that we are going to do, from story writing to everything. So what is your take on that?
So chatbots have been here for the past 6, 7 years, to be honest,
Hmm.
and no one has basically put everything together. I mean, so when you say the other companies are launching them too, that's because they've already been in their company rounds, having the beta rounds, everything.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that is there.
Hmm.
But one thing I believe is it's going to make our lives easier. I'm
Hmm.
sure that some part of chatbot cannot do everything, right? For example, even art generation, it's going to do something for it. Then again, you have to go back and edit it. That requires some kind of creativity, or
Hmm.
even movie scripts and all. It's just
Hmm.
a precursor or a starter, like a catalyst. I believe that's what you can use chat GPT or any chat bot that comes in. But
Hmm.
it's certainly good because at least people will start working the proper way at least. I mean, but take this instruction. Okay, go there, do it. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't know how they will do it. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good tool to use. But I highly doubt that it's going to take over people's jobs at least
Hmm.
in the next 3 to 4 years.
Hmm. 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 So I think so. The more specialized jobs are going to stay. Like let's say, like for example, there's a graphic designer, then there's a video editor. So the video editor is going to stay, but the graphic designer who actually designs small pretty graphics can actually be replaced by that particular, like say Delhi AI or like some other thing. So I think so.
Dali, yeah.
Specialized jobs are going to stay, but the more manual
Mm.
oriented, labor oriented jobs are going to go away with.
He's going to get upgraded anytime, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
A graphic
Yeah.
designer, a Photoshop guy has to
Huh.
go to Illustrator. Once
Huh.
Illustrator is done, he's going to After Effects. I mean, right?
Huh. Huh. Huh.
Or once he learns After Effects, he'll go with what is that? Premiere Pro, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
To get the
Hmm.
videos out. So
Hmm.
if that push is not there, if there's no kick on your back, you'll never move forward. There has
Huh.
to be some kind of push that has to go there. And ChatGPT is one that is making people okay understand that I can do my work. There's something that is also helping me. I have to be upgrading myself.
Huh. But like we are from India, and like India is a very strong industry in IT, which is actually service based industry. So the biggest hit that any country is going to take with this Chat GPT and all those AT automation tools is going to be India, right? I mean, somewhere we are going to suffer.
Yeah, see, if you look at this year and last
Hmm.
year, they said it's recession everywhere. India
Hmm.
is not taking any recession. It's right now, to be honest. The
Hmm.
market is, they are just creating this hype to lower the prices of people. What do you know
Hmm.
what happened in 2020 to 22? There's this coronavirus, right? So what
Huh.
happened? People started applying for multiple jobs and the price basically increased. That's because lot and
Hmm.
lot of projects came back to India
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we needed people. So a person with 3 years experience would have been gone for 20-25 lakhs also. They were those prices back then.
Hmm.
Now there's this, what happens? See, I'll tell you a simple funda. You need a video to be edited, okay? And you don't have a video editor. And you need that to be edited by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and you don't care about price. So what you'll do, you'll go to the market. Even an editor with 10 years experience or 5 years experience, 2 years experience, he'll say this needs to be edited. Only
Hmm.
2 years experience person is there. I need this to be edited. You'll tell him. He'll say, give me 45,000.
Hmm.
You'll say, I'll give it to you 40 because we need it to be done for tomorrow.
Hmm.
Once that is done, I mean, it takes him 1 or 2 days. Okay. Once that is done, will you still hire him or will you say, hey, you're too costly for me? Or you can go back working on something else,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
for that 40,000, you might get a person with 6-7 years experience. You can use that person for
Hmm.
entire month. So
Hmm.
that is what is happening. It's basically the spring effect, right? You stretch it too far, it's going to go back in. And
Hmm.
trust me, there's not much recession in India. We are still getting, our jobs and projects. People are still working in. Previously, 10 years ago, India was just a KPO process, market, knowledge processor, right? So
Hmm.
it's all about processing financial data. And I mean, you have this call centers, etc. But India lately has been producing a lot of software engineers. So
Hmm.
we are very good. We are almost good at producing the software. But we
Hmm.
still have to learn on the product development part. We have to still keep working on that part. But trust me,
Hmm.
everything is good here.
But like right now we are having a lot of reports where there's a lot of layoffs, and like Amazon fired 18,000 people, and ironically one of my friend was working in Amazon. He was actually drawing 30 to 40 lakh salary, and that he was actually asked to leave the company. But somewhere, is it really that the company are suffering, or is it that they are just laying off their high earning employees, that it's a cause, like it's a reason for you
Mhm.
to lay off in a very convenient way? So
Yeah, see, it's simple, right?
huh, huh, huh.
You're making 4 lakhs a month,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you've taken money from your dad or mom, let's say 40
Hmm.
lakhs you've taken.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
say, I'm starting a business. Yeah, let's
Hmm.
say, okay, fine, but you have to show me how much you're earning.
Hmm.
Correct. 4 lakhs a month you're making, you're also spending 2 lakhs a month,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
that means you're getting 2 lakhs a month, right? 4 minus 2 is 2. And you're showing every month, you're showing progress, progress, progress. Now, what happens is when this prices start increase, the top guys,
Hmm.
right? If you suddenly cut your money, if you're showing losses to your mother or father, they'll
Hmm.
ask questions. Those are the board of directors, right, for your company.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in order to mitigate that risk,
Hmm.
your product can go take little longer. I
Hmm.
mean, you don't need to earn 4 lakhs a month,
Hmm.
but you can earn 2 lakhs a month and cut down employees so that you can only spend 1 lakh. So that
Hmm.
is what's happening. And once it is gone, they'll start hiring again because they'll get that four same 40 lakhs guy
Huh.
replaced with a 20 lakhs person.
Person. Yeah.
Panda, right? That's
like
how
like
it's going.
yeah, it's business, right? So like that is was the main thing that we were saying, that see, every sale is rising and everywhere it's fine. I mean, there's not a lot of recession that we are actually like, see, 2007-8 recession was actually something that we first time saw, that people are actually suiciding
Yes.
because of this
Yes.
job loss and everything. But right now what we are hearing so much news on recession, but there is actually not such a critical recession that we are actually
Market is
seeing.
good. Market is
Huh.
really good. I'll tell you what. There
Huh.
are there are a lot of openings. I mean, my HR team comes and tells me, "No, Murray, there are a lot of
Hmm.
jobs outside."
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's not so bad that the companies are not firing you; they're letting you go, giving you a severance package, right?
Hmm.
You are
Hmm. Hmm.
able to use that package. By the time you run out of the money, you're able to get a job now.
Hmm.
That's how it is, in fact.
So, Sandeep bhai, we have talked a lot about different technical aspects of DevOps and like the northwest.com. Let's move on to some asking some really basic questions that is basically related to our lifestyle. For those of you who doesn't know, Sandeep bhai is actually, he has actually reversed his diabetic process. So something that
Mm.
is we all can learn from. So Sandeep bhai, what do you want to say when it comes to reversing the diabetic process? It's a very fascinating topic because it's a such, like, we have around 30 to 40 crore people in India only who is actually suffering from diabetes, and which is like one third or one fifth of everyone in the entire country.
We love carbohydrates.
We love carbohydrates. Our food is so much of carbohydrates, like from rice to let's say, like, we lack protein. We have a lot of carbohydrates in our food. So, what is
Correct.
your take when it comes to the reversing the diabetic process?
Sure, sure. Anyone can reverse diabetes.
Hmm.
It's not a big, issue when you compare it with the long-term effect, right?
Hmm.
So I got diagnosed with diabetes, I think, right around when I was 29, 30.
Hmm.
When I was 29, 30, due to a lot of pressures, personal friend, in family friend, office friend. I was
Hmm.
into delivery. What else can you expect?
Hmm. Hmm.
I was into delivery at IT. So I was taking pressure left, right, center. And then I started feeling this, I used to get tired so easily. My
Hmm.
legs used to ache and all. I
Hmm.
didn't know what sugar was till then. I mean, I
Hmm.
used to hear it in TVs and everything, never knew
Hmm.
what sugar was.
Hmm.
So I got diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
Hmm.
And I thought it is something that it'll go off like a fever. That's what
Hmm.
I thought. I
Hmm.
never had any clue of how significant this disease is. I can
Hmm.
call it a disease, right?
Hmm.
So I didn't understand. So I ignored it for basically for the first 8 9 months. I've ignored it. I didn't do anything. I kept eating sweets, kept drinking,
Hmm.
smoking, everything that I had to do, and I've done it.
The
There
IT
was one
culture.
this yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. You have
Huh.
to release somewhere. So
Huh.
I
Like, we work like machines. Like, I mean, if at any industry that is so affiliated to cigarettes, it's IT. You're
Mm.
going to work 24 hours. No matter. And when you're talking about delivery, I can understand the pain. I mean, like, delivery is something that is actually so painful when it comes to, like, until unless you're delivered, you're not going to sit or
Oh
relax.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
please continue. Yeah.
So what happened after that? There was this one fateful night. It was, I think, Friday night or something. I put on, I don't know, some movie. I had my
Hmm.
drinks and everything was good. I drank a little till late, and night I ate some oily food,
Hmm.
and I just slept. Early in the morning, I felt something uneasy, right? I mean, I felt uneasy. I didn't feel anything of that sort at that time. Then I realized, okay, something's wrong. I felt little funny. The whole body was little funny and had this heart burn,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So,
Hmm.
and I was basically panicking.
Hmm.
And I immediately went to hospital thinking it was a heart attack. Okay.
Hmm.
I went there and the doctor there was scaring me a lot because
Hmm.
usually what happens, I have insurance.
Hmm.
They'll try to get me into the bed, and they
Don't
are
just
saying,
mention that you have insurance. If you mention you have insurance to any doctor or hospital, they are going to charge you lakhs of rupees for a single
yeah.
disorder, even if you have. Yeah.
So I went there in the morning,
Huh.
about And I was like panicking, really crazy. I was like, no,
Hmm.
no, what will happen? I'm just 30, 31. Okay.
Hmm.
Everything happened. And doctor was basically scaring the shit out of me.
Hmm.
And my BP was not coming down because of that.
Hmm.
And sister was there. She saw me. Okay. She saw
Hmm.
me and everything. And she said, "Don't worry, sir. It is just a gastric problem. That's because did you have anything extra? Yeah, I had drinks and this. That is
Hmm.
it. Don't worry about me. If you stay here, they'll keep you for 7 days. That's because they'll say angiogram, this,
Hmm.
that, and
Hmm.
they'll take money out of it."
Hmm.
Then what I did, I told the doctor that I'll not be here. My mom is there. I didn't tell anyone, and I rushed off. He scolded me saying, you cannot travel in air. You will die and all this stuff.
Hmm.
I said, screw it. I have strength, right? So I sent them the reports that I have, and they said nothing is. There's no problem. ECG, everything is clear.
Hmm.
It's just little high. BP is little high and all because
Hmm.
obviously I was tensed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Came home and as an idiot that I was, ordered some chicken chatpat and biryani, ate it off and slept off.
Hmm.
Then I came back to Vizag. That's my
Ha.
hometown, right? Ratferami.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I told him this is what's happening. So we went to the doctor and he basically started scolding me because of the improper bad habits.
Hmm.
So he saw that my cholesterol was a little high and
Hmm.
LDLs, HDLs were not out of shape because I'll tell you what, I was 120. I was double my size that time.
120.
Right.
I mean that you
Yes.
have made a lot of progress, then I can say, because
Yeah.
nowhere you are 120 now. Ha.
Yeah. So I was 120. I was fat. I was
Hmm.
a fat person. I never cared about losing weight
Hmm.
because that thought didn't come in my mind. Whenever I was free, I used to play games. I don't know if you guys know, I used to play a lot of games called a lot of online games, Dota, etc., etc. Counter
Hmm.
Strike. You guys know
Hmm.
what Counter Strike, right? So
Yeah,
I used to
yeah.
play all of this, and whenever after that's done, office, home, office. So he said, I know that it's a gastric problem, but let's get an angiogram.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I got the angiogram, and he said there's nothing. Everything is good, no blocks, nothing is impacting everything. But it's basically due to my bad habits and bad eating habits. So I took to my health, saying, I have to first lose health and then try to reverse my diabetes, right? So I've taken, it's approximately lost about how much? I was 78 from 120 to I reduced to 78 and in the matter of 6 to 7 months. So
Hmm.
that's when I stopped eating rice.
Hmm.
Complete carb cutoff, not really, but complete carb cutoff. But I used to have whatever is required for the body.
Hmm.
So morning I used to wake up. I used to have some lime water with salt. That's for the detoxification. I
Hmm.
used to have some what is that apple cider vinegar before 30 minutes before eating. That brings the blood sugar down and also metabolism increases. I used to walk like crazy, 5 to 10 kilometers every day, compulsory.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I hit the gym. And then COVID came, so I stopped everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, but yes, you will be. I was from I think 10.5 to borderline, below borderline in 7 months, 8 months, 7 to 8 months. So
Hmm.
I've done that. So everyone who's trying to, say that diabetes is not reversible, I find it a lie because there were times I used to think, I used to feel so bad when I'm sleeping. Before I used to sleep, we get these thoughts, right? I used to wonder if this diabetes will ever go away because they were. I travel a lot. Okay, I travel 5 to 6 countries every year. That's from purely work related.
Hmm.
And being India supermarkets and being in Walmart or Costco or some places, you see an entire row of chocolates with a lot of chocolates. I
Hmm.
used to fill them, right? As a
Hmm.
diabetic was 30, 31. I mean, I used to feel bad. I used to call my mom. There are so many things here. I don't know if I can ever have one.
Hmm.
I was like that because I know I'll get screw my health if I eat it.
Hmm.
But now it's controlled. But then again, it's a process. I mean, you have to tune your organs in such a way that diabetes gets reversed permanently. And that doesn't mean that we can eat biryanis every day, but once in a while, quantity is something that you have to take care of. So if you eat in proper quantity, whatever you eat, your body organs can take care of it until and unless you walk or do some physical exercise.
Hmm.
So I've
Hmm.
done that, and I'm in a process to do it again because after COVID, I cannot keep a proper diet because you need a lot of nutrients when you're sick. You cannot just eat a tandoori chicken or paneer or something
Hmm.
just when you're sick. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
got that and I ate it again. I'm trying to reduce. So
Hmm.
that's part of it.
Hmm. Like your experience is so helpful to a lot of us. Like we are seeing these disorders and diseases like in a very early age. Like people
Yeah.
like children from 10 to 15 years of age are actually wearing such high-powered magnifying glasses, and then they are BP, diabetic, everything because somewhere we are actually lacking a regular lifestyle as a human. Like for so many years, we actually used to wander and we used to
Mm.
had a such of physical activity because our closest relative is like when it comes to as a human species it's like chimpanzees and monkeys, and like monkeys are never going to sit idle at a single point of time, they're just going to jump here and there. So somewhere like this lifestyle
Mm. Mm.
working on computer laptops and like working 24 hours sitting is somewhere is actually downgrading our lifestyle. And
Yeah.
because of your input, I mean it is so positive, it's a like a positive approach for all of us so that we can all learn because diabetic is getting a serious disorder right now and everywhere with us.
Yes,
So
somewhere around there, there's a cure, but these guys won't release that cure. You know that.
yeah,
And one more
yeah,
thing is, yeah,
uh,
and immunity, right? Immunity is
huh,
something that we are losing. I mean, tell me
huh.
how many times you played in sand outside when you were a child? I mean,
Like no
every time
way.
I has to be on the road, right? Now you
Huh.
tell me, will you allow your kid outside? No, you're not allowing your kid outside.
Like even
And he's
for
saying
us,
no, well,
even for
yeah,
us, we had the opportunity to play outdoor cricket games and all those football games. But right now, this generation is like only based on entire computer games and all. So they have
correct,
actually lost the touch. And the water that we are drinking, it's such RO purified water. It's simply liquid. There's no mineral in it. All it that we
correct.
focus in TDS. So how is it
We
going to
have to have
benefit
the
us? Huh.
you,
Huh.
we are changing them, right? It's on
Hmm.
us.
It's on
Yeah,
us, of course. It's on us because acha, somewhere I read that there was a very famous line from a very famous doctor that insulin is the biggest scam of the century. Like somewhere they said
correct.
that. I mean, like they are the doctor, the medical team is so much oriented on giving us medicine and putting us on medical situations because of you like your experience with insurance and everything. Is that we are not getting the right kind of advice and also, but this is not like the end of everything. Like we have actually, I saw many startups who are working on reversing the diabetic process and they are actually doing a very good job. They are actually prescribing the meal, the diet, the routine and everything. Actually, when it comes to routine, what is your routine? Are you able to wake up early in the morning? Because this is something that we all have to do. And if, honestly, even I am not that a morning person. I'm a late night person. So what is your
Yeah.
take? How should we get early in the morning? Because
So
I think
I
so.
was
I think so. Going early, waking up early is not an issue. Sleeping early is an issue. Until unless you're going to sleep early, you're not going to wake up early. So how do
you
you
have
manage
switched
that?
off your lights here. That's the
Ha
issue. That's
ha
not
ha.
happening.
Ha.
I used to be a 4 a.m. 4 I mean, not the 5 a.m. I used to be
4
a
a.m.
4 a.m. guy.
Hmm,
Yes.
hmm,
And I used to sleep at 10:30.
hmm,
That's because I knew, there's a goal ahead of me. Every day,
hmm,
I wait to wake up. I mean, I sleep just to wake up in the morning.
hmm,
And I drink. I'll tell you what. Tips, tips are, drink one or 1.5 liter water before you sleep, and your body will automatically wake you up at 4:30. Trust me.
hmm. Okay, yeah, this is
You
a
need to
great
go to the
hack.
washroom, right?
Ha ha ha.
And sleep away. And when you wake up, put your
Hmm,
bottle away. Don't put your bottle beside your bed
hmm, hmm.
because you'll get
Ha.
thirsty many times when you wake up, right? If it's
Correct.
there, that walk that you have to take will give you
Hmm,
enough energy for you to stay awake
hmm,
and to change your course of direction without sleeping. I've seen so many people sleep and
hmm.
sleep. I mean, I also fell into that category. I mean, I was waking up at 8 o'clock some time ago, and then I come back to seven
8
to
is
6, 6 to
also
5.
early for 90% of people in this country. So don't say that you're a late sleeper, okay?
I'll tell you what, if
Uh,
you wake up at 8 o'clock and I wake
hmm,
up at 4 o'clock, I have 4 hours of advantage over
hmm,
you. And I can use that 4 hours of advantage to something that I can learn or something that I can use to benefit my body. Because I'll tell you what, these 4 hours, I'll not even have a single friend awake. I'll not have a WhatsApp message. I'll
hmm,
not have anyone posting something to me. Unless,
hmm,
of course, you have this what do you call those messages, do not disturb
hmm.
message that come in. But then again,
Ha,
these 4 hours are yours, simply yours. No one else is going to be there to disturb you.
ha,
So
ha,
use it to your advantage. The sooner
ha.
you wake up, the better. I've seen people wake up at 2 o'clock also. There are people. I have
Hmm,
some
hmm,
friends. In the, but of course we don't talk on calls because we're just texting. Say, let's
Hmm.
only meet, but let's not talk on the mornings.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he wakes up at 4:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, just to get his work done and just to beat others. It seems that's what his funda is.
Hmm.
But sleeping to what happens is, you eat and you sleep, you talk, talk, talk. Everything is the same, right? Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
10:30 or 11 you sleep. But the thing is, you have a lot of people awake at that time. They'll keep calling you.
Hmm.
That essentially, you're spending your time there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
that's how I got this habit.
So the basic line is ki you have to have a cause that will only wake you up in the morning. Like you have to do something. If you are not having anything to do in the morning or somewhere, you're not going to
You
wake
you
up.
tell me, okay, you're going to a Goa trip tomorrow morning. You'll wake up early, right? Hey, I have to wake up early in the morning. We have to, early in the morning because we have to drive, right?
Yeah, I mean,
What
I
if you say,
remember the picnic days in schools. Like
yeah,
I would hardly get any sleep because I had to wake up so early in the morning. Yeah. So
yeah. Now you
yeah.
say, I have to wake up to walk in the morning. Hey, you have to get that excited. Little
Hmm.
change in our thinking will get us a lot. In fact, so that's what I figured. I'm still learning. I mean, I see some books, YouTube, whatever it is. I
Hmm.
try to pick up whatever I can and try to implement it myself because I am a person where I cannot copy others. Problem
Hmm.
is, I experience it myself. Only then I'll understand. It is bad. This guy has already told me, but I've done this again. Okay, this is what happened.
But the thing is, like, where the situation that we are working in, we are actually, leading a lot in different fields, like when it
Mhm.
comes to cloud development and all. So, I mean, you cannot follow when you're actually leading. You're actually creating a lot of things for yourself. So, somewhere you have to, we have to get more creative rather than copying others because
Yeah,
otherwise,
yeah.
who are the others people who are going to copy? So, we have to set an example somewhere.
My team really hates me because they want me. They wanted me to start one more program, right?
Hmm, hmm,
It's like a job program. I said
hmm,
no. Wait,
hmm,
wait. We'll go. See, sometimes it's important to start right.
hmm,
You can run little later. Running is always there. I mean, you want, of
hmm,
course, you start a business to make it succeed, and taking it in one year or 2 years or 3 years is a choice that you make, or at least that is what I think,
hmm,
because I know that I can grow my business because I got that awareness where I know what is working out, what is not. So, but people are with me, right? They're
hmm,
like, "Come on, let's start this. Let's start this." But that's how it goes. And I'm leading, right? I should not take that example where someone is offering a job training program for 12 months and taking this much money. What I
hmm,
said, so I'm trying to tell you why I'm talking about this. If I take this, I'll be another Edureka or
hmm,
scalar copy,
hmm,
right?
hmm,
I mean, or a show off or a wannabe, right?
hmm,
I
hmm,
don't want to be like that. My goal when I started was to become the OTT for technology. That's it. Simple.
hmm,
Everything that you want, any technology that you want, you don't have to go to YouTube. You don't know how this thing is.
hmm.
So I'm getting all of that and I'm putting in less than 200, 300. That's what we were thinking. That was the thought, but then again it changed. But at the end of the day, we want to become the OTT for technology.
Huh, huh.
And not only that, everything else.
Huh.
Yes.
Like because I am seeing your business from a third person point of view and from an entrepreneurial point of view. What I'm saying that since you are doing a lot of work on charity, you're enrolling students like in the initial days also when you are doing enrolling free of cost or when you're doing so much of live sessions and you're training so hard people. So there's this opportunity cost that we say in business that otherwise if you had focused very hard on growing your business, you would have grown a lot. So I would say that, of course, this charity is good for us, but from a business point of view, of course, I mean, you're lacking. But this is good for the students, right? I mean, where you are spending so much time on them, of course, you'll grow for sure because you're focusing on the content and the people who are actually going to
Yeah,
develop.
I,
Yeah.
I look like a fool. I know that.
No,
I tell you, I don't know.
I mean, no, no, no. Don't take it that
No,
way.
no,
I mean, no,
no,
no.
no, no. I mean, I
But,
call
but,
myself a fool. I'll
but
tell you why.
but you're not you're not a fool for your students, right? I mean, they are going to learn so much from you. So of course you're not
Yeah,
creating a business. Actually, teaching is not business. We have to understand that teaching is something like it has to be different from
correct.
business. Yeah. So what you're doing is exactly commendable. This is what I want to say. Not a fool. Okay, please don't get me wrong.
No, 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 no. No. I mean, in a business
uh,
perspective,
uh,
right. If it's like, see, this is a commodity. Let's say education is a commodity. My
hmm,
technology is a commodity.
hmm,
And telling something like Gmail to you for free in the initial days is a
Hmm.
great idea because you get used to it, and then
Hmm.
again you charge for it. Today you'll pay for Gmail. You're paying for it, I believe, you're on business account, right?
Ah.
So, but unfortunately, for education, if I'm training a AWS engineer for free,
Hmm.
I cannot convert him into something else because his purpose here with me is solved,
Solved. Yeah, yeah. So you cannot
right?
monetize him further for any purpose. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
So
I'm
that is
looking
what I'm
at.
calling you. It's like a charity. What you are doing is like more like a charity with a cause that you are providing the
Yeah.
education with. Huh.
So mine is more of, let's say 20K, 30K subscribe in uh,
Hmm.
students,
You
and
don't
then
have to
I'll
tell
go
me.
for
We all have heard the name of Nosfer, so please don't. I mean, being in this
yeah.
in this field, I have heard a lot of it. That is why I wanted
So
to
small goals,
invite
I
you.
can say.
Yeah, of course, small goals because you're. I mean, the new institution with a new business. It's actually so. I mean, I can hardly imagine that the work you're doing as a job and then you're working as a businessman. It's kind of.
Yeah, you've been there, right? I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
We all got together for the same concern. We're still there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I understand the
Yeah.
pain. So
Yeah.
like, acha, for those of us who doesn't know, Sandeep is also, very much into VFX and all. So we had heard that you were into VFX and then you would work like right now we are into the era of Bahubali KGF, where VFX is
Mm.
making us larger than life. So what is your take on VFX? How is it going to involve, and how do you think is like we can get into VFX, or what is the approach
Oh.
one has to take when
Oh.
it comes to
Oh.
VFX?
Yeah. Yeah. It's you don't know it, but a lot of people don't know it. There is a huge industry of VFX folks in India. A lot.
Hmm.
I mean, when I say a lot, they are
Hmm.
as big as the software MNCs. There are a
Okay.
lot of software engineers, I mean, VFX people in India.
Hmm.
But the problem is, you'll not get the name out. That's because there are usually a lot of stuff that people do. See, if you're a VFX engineer, you have to do a lot to actually come to a level where your name will be shown. So
Hmm.
what happens is, usually, let's say your green screen. If I have a green screen behind me,
Hmm.
you remove that, right?
Hmm.
There'll be one person working on that. If there are any ropes for the fights,
Hmm.
the rotoscopy and all, they call it rotoscopy, and
Hmm.
they remove the ropes. That's one person will be working on it. And
Hmm.
once after that's done, blank image on a skill. If you put a Bahubali castle behind me, there'll be
Hmm.
other person working on that, and the model will be worked upon by other person. There'll be a color colorist. There'll be 3D modeler. There'll be FX particle artist, sound engineer. There'll be
Hmm.
a lot of people. Everyone. This is a process, like one after one after one and one after, and we have people everywhere. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have a friend. His name is called Rajat. He has a channel on YouTube. He's a pretty good guy, pretty famous guy. We meet in this Hindi VFX circle.
Hmm.
So we talk to each other about the advancement and everything, right?
Hmm.
Because we go hand in hand. Technology. I don't know if you know about Unreal Engine
Hmm. Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Games. Yeah.
Yes. So Unreal Engine, we do this compositing. We do some kind of previs, etc., etc.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yes, it's huge. If you want to get in, if you're creative, get in. It's not a big issue. I mean, you'll be getting a job anyhow. Just all you have to do is work on your Photoshop skills, press painting, matte painting, etc., and try to learn VFC. I'll tell you, there are two things, right? You guys, everyone knows After Effects.
Hmm.
After Effects is basically used for motion graphics. That is
Hmm.
only
Hmm.
that's good at.
Hmm.
If you want to go a little higher, you have something called Nuke.
Hmm.
Get into Nuke and try
Okay.
to work on your small projects by removing the screen, adding something else to it, composition, etc., etc.
Hmm.
It's not a big issue. Follow someone.
Hmm.
You have genome workshop, I think. You spend little money, like about 1,500 to 1,600 per month. Get some courses. There's the VFX school. All lot of articles. I mean, websites are there. You can get into that easily.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So I mean, Sandeep, I mean the we have already crossed that time, but there's so much that we can actually talk about. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
I'm
like
in middle of something. Yeah. I mean, we can converse for like 2 to 3 hours more on this, but we have
yeah,
time
like
constraint.
Bahubali Part Two, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to get into the part two. We have because we have
Hmm.
so many of topics that we have to leave untouched because of this time constraint
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So let's wrap up this session because why? Because of course we have taken a lot of time from you because you're so busy, and thank you for taking out the time and getting us on this podcast because it is really helpful for all of us to hear from you everything. So It was really nice collaborating with you, bhai, and it was really fun.
Hmm.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope, everything goes well for you also.
So this was our conversation with Sandeep Tungarathi, and it was really fun collaborating with him on this podcast, and we get to learn so much from him. If you want to learn more about different technologies like DevOps, cloud development, you can go out and check out nosfors.com. But if you have the desire to create your own business and want to start your entrepreneurial journey, go out check out aclarentacademy.com for more on entrepreneurship. That's all for this podcast. Let me know how did you like the podcast. If you want to me to invite someone, then let us know in the comment box, and let's share your feedback on different aspects of the podcast. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll meet again in the next podcast. Till then, take care. Goodbye.